Revuto is a really interesting project that I didn't have much time to look into when it launched, and I kind of regret that I didn't. I have Vedran Vukman join me on this episode, or also known as Vex, and he comes in to talk all about the platform, what Revuto has to offer in terms of subscription management. So all those subscriptions that you have, such as Netflix, Spotify, whatever it might be, if you're watching media, you could have a plethora of these subscriptions, and having control over them so you can switch things on and off to manage your cash flow is really, really cool. But it takes it a step further, and they're integrating in crypto, DeFi, and all sorts of other mechanisms on their platform, all mobile first, I have to add, in a very cool and unique way. And I absolutely love what they're doing. Let's get into this interview.
Yeah, gotta do it like that. You've been listening to the Learn Cardano podcast.
I have the CEO of Revuto, Vex, joining me on this episode to talk about the platform. I want to learn more about it and get my hands on it as well. Vex, welcome to the podcast.
Yeah, thank you for accepting me.
Let's start off with a little bit of your background and how you managed to get to this point where you started up Revuto and this whole platform around it.
It's actually a long story. I started with crypto in 2017 while I was in San Francisco working for my other startup. And at that time, I had a problem with cash flow. So I was trying to raise money for my startup. I didn't know actually if I'm going to survive. And at that moment, I would say that I found myself in the right time in the right place, because I at the beginning of 2017, when I came there was so much noise about the crypto because that bull cycle started, and I saw young people around me talking about crypto, gaining a lot of profits out of crypto, and I just said I need to look into it. And that is when actually I started to not only follow. I actually never followed so much Bitcoin and Ethereum. Yeah, Ethereum was actually the big story at that time, because I remember when people asked me to invest in Ethereum, it was around $8 or something like that. But from the beginning, I was all in altcoins. And about the altcoins, I started to follow other projects besides Bitcoin. Yeah, and it was amazing technology and everything. So I saw the opportunity. I said, this is something that's gonna actually replace all those digital assets. Are gonna replace the broken financial system that as we see it right now, and that financial freedom and all those possibilities. That was like a revelation to me. So and from then on, I was investing as well, but I was following those projects and thinking about, if I don't succeed with I was doing at that time, and it was hard because I was in hardware business. It was really hard for me to raise money, and then COVID-19 just hit me as a hammer. And I was a good friend with Rux, the CTO of our company, which was at that time working for Intuit, and we were discussing about the problem with the subscription business model, because already then we knew that in the future we're gonna pay everything on a subscription basis, because that's the new hot thing. But the problem was, how to control that. In the States, it's nuts. You actually pay everything on a subscription.
Right.
So even foods, people don't cook at home, so they just order food delivery, and there's so many things that you actually pay on subscription basis. But even for my business, I was paying so many tools that I had to use monthly, and I lost track, to whom I was paying with what, because I was, using all those different credit or debit cards, which, could actually cover those expenses. And I forgot how much I'm paying in general for all those things. And I said, it's a big problem. And then with the subscription business, the biggest problem is that there is no transparency. So there's still those service providers are trying to take our money out of our pockets for even those subscriptions that we are not using all the time. So For instance, you subscribe on something and this month you use it, but then the next month, even Netflix, you travel, you go on vacation and everything, but you're still paying for that month that you're not using the service. And that goes for everything else. So, and especially those free trial traps also are a big problem, because we usually tend to try something out, and we think that we're gonna remember to unsubscribe, but that rarely happens. So
no one ever remembers that. I've been tripped up by that so many times. It's like guaranteed. Like, from a business point of view, those free trials where you put in your credit card, brilliant business decision to put in place.
Exactly. And what is happening right now, so they don't even charge you, if you forget, they don't charge you for next month, but they charge you for the next whole year. Okay. Oh. So, and that's, that's the problem that is growing also. And I knew the stats, I knew the numbers, because Marco was working for Intuit, and he worked on products that were trying to help people manage their financials, okay, for even the QuickBooks and Mint and everything. So I knew the numbers, and I said, let's look into numbers and see how many people are using subscriptions on average, how many of those are actually unused subscriptions and things like that. And we came up with really awesome numbers, and we said, we need to do something to actually help those people. And the crypto was a natural add-on, because we said with crypto, because we are in a way, if you're going to issue virtual debit cards to manage all those subscriptions, which our product is doing, we are actively managing subscriptions. We are not just some subscription tracker or something notifier, okay, where you can put your alarms and things like that, notifications, but you still need to do everything manually to unsubscribe and things like that. We said, if we are a payment system, we have to integrate crypto with it, because crypto gives us so much possibilities and everything. And at the end, what is most important, crypto is going to help us to actually save people's money. Okay, so even with incentives like cashback, referral rewards, that's something that can help people pay at the end less for their subscription than they would pay with the fiat money, because we are incentivizing everything through our ecosystem with the Revuto token. Also, we are helping people to actually bridge that gap, that when they don't necessarily have money to pay something on a due date. So we're going to actually let them to borrow money from the liquidity pools, take those small, quick loans, because with crypto, those things are in a way easy to do. Okay, in a traditional financial system, you have to be bank, you have to be compliant with all those unnecessary things. With crypto is easier. So yeah, we have some amazing setups that we are planning to announce in the future, all regarding that managing subscriptions, but also some things that are more deeply connected with crypto by itself.
So we understand how the product is going to benefit the users of the platform. So managing these subscriptions, I'm one of them. I run my own business as well. I use a certain product for 3 months for a particular project for content writers, and then I forget. I'm still paying it 6 months after. So there's a huge benefit there. So I understand that. But will it be able to actually work with any subscription product, or do I have to use it with specific services like Netflix, Spotify, or can I use it for my internet ISP provider as well? Or is it limited to a certain select type of services?
So that's an awesome question, because what I usually find out that people don't understand how this system works. So what we do is actually we issue you virtual debit card, which you actually use instead of your debit or credit card to subscribe with the service provider. So what you do, you take the number that we give you and you pre-authorize that card with the service provider. But from then on, you're actually able to control everything what's happening through that virtual debit card. So you can actually block your payments whenever you want. You can approve them if you choose to approve before every due date. And what else we allow you is actually to snooze the payment. And that's an awesome tool, because what usually happens is that people pre-authorize their own personal debit or credit cards with many of those subscriptions. And some of those you don't necessarily have to pay when the due date is. Why? Because, for instance, if you have money just for one of those subscriptions at the moment, for instance, Netflix is $10 and Dropbox is also $10. Let's say so. But if the due date is 2 days before Netflix, it's gonna take the money out of your account, because it's on first come first serve basis. And then what is gonna happen? Dropbox, you can be late on your payment with the Dropbox, because they give you that grace period of even a month to use their service without interruption if you don't pay. But with Netflix, is different story. They're gonna, suspend your service immediately if you don't pay. So it would be, much better if you can control which of those services you wanna pay first. That's the first thing, and that snoozing is really helping. But what else we have? We have AI engine behind that, because we're gonna follow all the snoozing that our users do, and then we're gonna actually know and propose. Okay, you have a Dropbox. We already know that people snooze Dropbox 20 days on average, so we are pretty much confident that you can also snooze it for 20 days without the service interruption. Okay, so, and it's going to help you to manage your cash flow much better. That's one of the features. But again, everything is connected to the virtual debit card, which you have to pre-authorize with the service provider. And in that way, we can actually work with any service worldwide. It's the same debit card that you use, okay? And even like the service provider is not going to differentiate Revuto debit card from any other debit card that is out there. What is also important to mention, that we are not breaching any terms and conditions of those service providers, because all those services that we are talking about are prepaid services. So you pay something upfront to use it for that next billing cycle. It can be for a month, it can be for a week, month, or so on. So if you decide to not to pay, you actually block the service. The service is going to be suspended, but they're not going to actually unsubscribe you, because what they usually do, and that's how they also steal money from us. So if you pre-authorize your personal debit card and there is no money, there is a due date, they cannot take the money because there is no money, but they are still trying to take the money out of that card. And you say, okay, there was not money, they suspended my service, you forget about it. But what happens next? Next month, you put money on that account, they're still trying to, find the money on your card.
Yeah.
And they're going, as soon as they find money, they're going to take the money away from you and reactivate the service, because they don't want to let you out. Okay.
Yeah.
So the same thing is actually going to happen with the Revuto debit cards, but we're going to take that in our advantage, okay? And we're going to control when there is money on that card or no for particular services.
Gotcha.
And yeah, so those are just like some of advantages. And of course, you can then opt to top up those cards with your debit card, credit cards, and then with crypto, which is, I believe, really nice addition to everything.
So it doesn't sound like the subscription service could work for a subscription such as like my mobile phone service provider, my cell phone provider, because that's contractual, and I have to pay that every single month, right? Okay, so cool.
Yeah, so that's a good question. We have planned down the road to also tackle that market. We are still trying to figure out what would be the best way to go there, not only to your phone bill, but for instance, for the utility bills as well, because those are also recurring payments that happen every month. So, but we need to figure out, what is going to be the best approach to actually cover those expenses as well.
Yeah, and those are expenses that I have to pay. So if it was in the app as well, and it just told me that these payments are due, it kind of helps me manage my subscriptions and outgoing payments. So it's more of a budgeting app as well, not just subscription management. If you want to add more to your backlog and get a little bit busier.
Yeah, well, our goal is to make the best possible actually service to help people manage all those expenses that are recurring. And also then to allow them to enter that crypto space in a way, because I have to mention that although now we have more crypto related products within our app, virtual debit cards still they need to come. It was really a long onboarding process with our card issuing partner, which is, by the way, the same partner working with crypto.com. It's the same company. So it was a long-lasting process of compliance and AML screening and things like that, and transaction monitoring system, which we need to integrate in our product. But still, the thing is that we have now crypto users, but the service itself, it should also service people that didn't have necessarily any contact before in the past with the crypto. Okay, and through this app, we're gonna actually help them understand how crypto works and combine those two things. So in a way, we are a fintech product and the crypto product actually covering the real world use case in a way.
Which is absolutely awesome, and I will jump into that again in a moment as well. So this subscription model management, it sounds like you could do it without the whole blockchain side of things, and I'm sure there's other competitors out there. Do you have much competition out there in the ecosystem at the moment?
We do.
Yep.
We do. So the biggest competitors are Truebill, which they had exit recently, and they just announced debit cards. The problem with all those competing services is that they're not actively managing anything. So, and most of them are coming from the US, where they actually can connect to your transactional account. You just, give them a permission. They can search your account and search for repeating or recurring transactions, and they're gonna say, hey, we recognize this as a Netflix or this as a Dropbox or whatever. Sometimes they miss because I was using the Truebill and it was not helping me. I wouldn't say at all, but it was helping, but it was not the product that I needed. And then again, you set up your alarms, notifiers, and things like that, notifications, but they cannot actively manage those payments. Okay, so if you forget or whatever, they're not protecting you.
Gotcha.
Netflix is going to steal your money. Okay, if you don't unsubscribe, they have nice features to tell you how to unsubscribe and things like that. But with us, where we said we're going to do everything through debit cards, it's quite different because you can actively control those cards and all the transactions happening through those cards, and that's the big difference.
Now, you mentioned that your Visa, your virtual card provider that you just managed to partner up with, that's mostly in the EU. Because I've been getting questions from people saying like, when is it going to be available in Australia?
Yeah,
what about the US? What about Singapore? What about, where, when, essentially?
When.
So when?
So, of course, we want to serve the whole world. That would be ideal position to be in. But still, we need to, take the small steps. So what is going to happen next is that we're going to be present in the UK market, because that's the market where we can be present as soon as possible, because all that legal stuff. So we're going to go there. Then after UK, we're going to actually start issuing debit cards to European citizens. And those are two primary markets, let's call them so. Later on, we're going to spread to Middle East and Asia. And of course, US market is actually the end goal, but still those are all different markets. Okay, and it's very difficult, and maybe it's not even smart to go all over the place at once. So you need to go market after market. But what is interesting that with our partner, with Railsbank, behind the Railsbank is a Pernet company. So they are actually capable of serving us on all over the world. Okay. But still, because of the legal work and everything that you need to set up to be able to actually work on those different markets, we cannot cover all those.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
I remember back in 2017, I was following a lot of projects that had, the crypto debit cards. So I was following crypto.com when it was called Monaco. And, I signed up straight away, way back then. And I was following another one called...
Here.
Yep. I was following another one called 10X with their one as well. They're based out in Singapore. But their card issuer, rug pulled them. And that company went bust because they couldn't get the card issuer.
Yeah, that usually happens. And there was so many of those, even Wirex, Chapo, even I was using at the time BitPay, but then they cut off the service for European users. There were a couple of those cards, crypto cards, available, but the same happened to everybody. So their card issuer and even maybe the regulator can cut them off, because it's really what is problem with the crypto. People are trying to launder money and not file taxes about when it comes to crypto and things like that. And those physical cards were allowing people to actually withdraw money on ATMs, okay, from crypto. And if you have those AML procedures placed where they should be, then it raises red flags if people start using or exploiting that business. With us, it's quite different, because in the beginning we're not going to issue any physical debit card. Later on, we're going to do that because we want to have a physical debit card that is for general purpose, not exclusively for subscriptions. But that's going to follow later on, and we have a robust business model, so people are not going to be able to actually use those cards to pay for anything else. I'm sure that they're going to try, but they're not going to be able. They're not going to be able to withdraw money on ATMs. And usually also those monthly expenses on those cards are not going to be big. Okay. On average, subscriptions are $15 or euros, something like that. So it's a different business model, and we should be also good with the partner that we chose. Okay, that is also really important, because with one that we chose, onboarding process is really long. They did big background check on us and everything, but still, once when we launch with them, we're gonna be fine with them. And that's with the crypto.com. The thing is that they work, okay? In 99.9% that business works. Okay? And that's the most important. All others that you mentioned, they're dead. And there is a reason why they're dead, okay?
Yep.
So
very interesting. It's really good that you know that and you have that background as well, so you don't end down that same path, because there were so many projects I was following and through crypto at, and it's gone. It's all gone.
I know, because I'm a heavy user of those all fintech and crypto projects, and I have so many of those different cards. I don't even have a bank account in my own country. I don't need it.
That's cool. That's really cool. Okay. So how does all the blockchain and the crypto side work on your app then? So we've got the fiat control of all the subscriptions. That's all well and good. How does the crypto side tie into the app and the whole ecosystem?
Sure. Okay. First of all, there is a lot of money in crypto. Okay, and people trying to find a way how they can use those funds to actually pay for something that's meaningful in real life. A lot of money is there. It's locked. everything is circulating, those DeFi protocols and everything. But usually when you need actually to pay something, it's quite difficult. And then those cards came into the place. Some of those projects, they work directly with merchants, but that's not something that's going to happen anytime soon, that all merchants are going to directly accept crypto and crypto wallets. So that's why we have virtual debit cards, and we believe that we can be really awesome proxy for all those crypto users to actually channel that money through our token to be able to cover at least now expenses coming from those subscriptions. But then still, crypto is awesome environment to put your money work for you. Yeah, so there's so many amazing DeFi setups where you actually can, even like with those, if you stake crypto, you can earn really decent yield by doing that. And we said, we're going to offer our users to exploit those setups to actually help them save money, earn money, and pay less for those subscriptions. Not only to protect them with all those features that I already mentioned you from unwanted charges, for instance, free trials. That's also, I forgot to say, so only with Revuto, you're going to be able to subscribe to any free trial without fear of losing your money. Because even if you forget to unsubscribe,
there's no money.
You're going to be good, okay? Yeah. You're going to be safe.
Yeah.
But again, crypto is incentivizing, and that thing that also the setup that crypto brings with it. So all those tokens, they have limited supply, and just by growing the user base, which is going actually to use that token and utilize it for something, just by growing the user base, the price of that crypto is going to go up. That's the fact. And then you can also play with staking opportunities and try to lock up those tokens as much as possible to put them away from the circulating supply, move them out of the market. Then you can also expect for the price of the token to go up. And that is something that users can take advantage of, okay? Because just by holding the crypto, having the cryptocurrencies, they can gain profits. And then if they reuse those profits to pay for those expenses, they're going to be fine. Okay. So,
yeah. I know. It's very similar to like how crypto.com works, and there's staking mechanisms in there. Yeah.
Exactly. But just our app is actually built all with the purpose to help people manage those certain expenses that they have connected with the subscriptions.
Yeah.
But who knows, later on, we have so many ideas and plans. We are now going step by step, but hopefully one day we're going to be al pari with the crypto.com. I don't know. I believe there is a place for so many similar business models. Okay. Although we have a different focus, but it's a huge market, and still it's early for crypto.
Very, very much so. We're all early. Okay. So I'm just trying to visualize that workflow, the user flow of using the crypto side of things. So I'm assuming here that I might have some ADA or BTC, and I can move it onto the app. And once I'm on the app, I need to convert it to Revo tokens. Is that correct?
Exactly.
To be able to load up my debit cards with payment. Yeah? Is that how it works? Yeah.
Yes. We're gonna try to do it different way. We are now working on it, so you don't even have to move funds directly to your card, because the card is gonna directly be connected to your crypto wallet. And if we're gonna, see that there are Revo tokens on the crypto wallet, and you chose actually to have a source of payment for that debit card. To choose a crypto wallet as a source of payment, we're going to immediately take those funds that are available there, for instance, those Revo tokens. Yeah. And so from the user's perspective, the flow is going to be seamless. How we do it in the backend is quite a different story, but still that doesn't matter. But the point is that we are building everything now on Cardano. The plan is actually first to allow users to use our own token to top out those virtual debit cards. with the crypto, and then to add support for some other tokens from the Cardano community as well. The second token that's going to be actually integrated is going to be stablecoin. I believe it's going to be JET, because they're going to be first ones out on Cardano. And then we have some amazing partnerships that we did with other Cardano projects, which we are supporting them through our staking center, because we are also giving our users incentives and opportunities to stake Revuto tokens until all these tokenomics with virtual debit cards start to work, to earn some additional, not only Revuto tokens, but other Cardano native tokens as well. And as I said, we're going to support those projects as well, and we're going to add support for all those native tokens later on. The same with the crypto.com. I don't know if you remember, but they just started with a few cryptocurrencies that they were supporting, and then they were adding support for more. We're going to do that as well. Same goes for our crypto wallet, which is now Cardano wallet. I need to emphasize that we were the first ones actually that built a native Cardano light wallet within the mobile app, because all those Yoroi or similar wallets they're using WebView. It's a different thing. Now we are introducing decentralized exchange within the mobile app. That's something also that's quite unique. And the wallet that we built in is now supporting ADA and Revuto token, but it's capable actually of supporting all other native tokens as well. But it's a business. It's gonna be the business decision which tokens are we gonna be adding later on, because we don't wanna make a mess out of our ecosystem.
Makes total sense. Now, I absolutely love that. I did look this up, and you are the first team to approach mobile first for DeFi that I could find.
Exactly.
So you got the mobile wallet, you've got the DEX, you got the DeFi and microloans, which I want to talk about as well, all within the platform on your mobile. This is where people use this is their digital life. It's like I'm in front of my computer.
This is your best friend.
It is. I don't leave.
More than with your wife or a girl.
Oh, don't tell her that. But she knows it. It's I go out for coffee with it. It's my best friend. Sure. I'm on the toilet with it. Probably too much information, but it goes everywhere with me. Yeah. So having DeFi on this device is by far the best business decision you guys could have made. Yeah.
Yeah, but we could, that's why the first thing that we did, we introduced the Cardano wallet, because that's the basis of everything. Okay? And it's non-custodial wallet. That's really important to understand.
Oh, even better. Wow. Okay, cool.
Yeah. It's non-custodial. So you can actually take your seed phrase and take it wherever you want. You even can open it on any wallet supporting Cardano non-custodial.
That is really cool. I did not know that.
And that's the beauty of it. And we build the DEX, and it's going to be quite interesting DEX as well, because it's going to be going to be really cool.
All right.
Let's go. So because now why I'm not telling everything, because we recently announced the DEX, but now we are also I call that the DEX paper. So we're gonna do an add-on addition to our white paper, where all the DEX features are going to be explained and how actually that's going to work. But we have some amazing things to announce as well. So, and that's actually something that we didn't plan, to be honest, because what happened to us is that we knew that we had to list on centralized exchanges to support our business model. Yeah. Because if you want to exchange crypto on DEXs, it's slow, it's inefficient, it can be expensive. You pay a lot for fees and things like that. Okay, so it has advantages and disadvantages. But actually, to be able to support that business model, topping up debit cards with crypto, you need to work with a centralized exchange, which is actually bringing a lot of liquidity with itself. It's fast, and things like that. And you can actually partner with those guys, through the API connection and everything. Because at the end, you need to exchange somewhere your crypto for fiat. Because behind the debit card actually is a banking account, to be honest. Okay, when you pay with debit card, you pay with the fiat actually. So that was the case, but we had some difficulties with centralized exchanges because we are a crypto project. Our token is Cardano native token, and we wanted to go with those top tier exchanges, and they didn't support Cardano at all. Okay, they had ADA, but they didn't support Cardano native tokens. And we signed with the KuCoin the deal on 29th of September, and the plan was to go out in October or November. But we ended up being listed on KuCoin in worst possible time in January, 7th of January, when actually Bitcoin for the first time dropped below 40,000. And we were so mad at them because the technical implementation was taking so much time, so long. And we were the first actually Cardano native token listed on KuCoin. Then we went with the Gate.io as well. So, but what happened? Few weeks after that, SundaeSwap announced that they're going to launch on mainnet. So that happened maybe in 2 weeks time. And if I knew that, and we were trying to call them and everything, we would rather go first with the decentralized exchange and then later on release the Revuto token on centralized exchange. But also the problem was because we had to send the tokens to our investors, and if you don't have decentralized exchange and you don't have centralized exchange, those tokens are not liquid. Okay, so they cannot do anything with those. They cannot trade those tokens on anything. So, and we had, there was a big problem because we didn't know when and if the KuCoin is going to list us. And we said in January, we can make, we were talking with our developers and we said, we can make a decentralized exchange for ourselves as well. It is possible. And that's actually when we started to work on it. And I believe that we are pretty fast. So even with the app, we are updating the app every week almost now.
Absolutely fantastic. That's really good. And I'll keep an eye on the app to watch the new updates that come through it. And hopefully I'll be able to use it very soon as well. But there was one question that kind of bugs me. So like here in Australia, if I was using crypto to exchange into the app to pay for these services in fiat, how does that work with my tax implications there? Because when I sell, I have to pay capital gains tax, and that's like a huge chunk of it. So how does that work?
That's a good question, and that's something that we're gonna have to actually deal with in the future, because until now that was not such a big thing, and still we believe that we're gonna be fine for a while, because those amounts, let's call them amounts that are going to go through those virtual cards, are not going to be big amounts of money. Okay. In general, yes, but for you as the individual, you're not going to be spending a lot of money on those subscriptions, unless you're going to try to exploit the system and then, I don't know, tell everybody from other countries, look guys, here's the number of your card, and let's try to put 100 subscriptions on on that card. But we also have mechanisms how to protect ourselves from those situations. But again, I don't know if those agencies are related to taxes are going to be bothered with us as much as with those bigger players, especially with the centralized exchanges, okay? Because I'm aware of that, and it's happening now. For instance, Binance is having a problem even in Europe, because people really have to actually give them, allow governments actually to look into what's going on with their accounts on those exchanges. So it's a big topic for the future, of course, but we're gonna see how that's gonna develop.
Okay, so you'll tackle it.
At the moment, we are not required to do that, just to be sure. Okay, so nobody asked us, even from the regulatory standpoint, we should be fine.
Okay.
We, even with the crypto.com, do you file taxes? So, and actually what is most important, I always take that position. It's your responsibility to file taxes. Okay.
Yeah.
So okay. So, we can tell you, take in mind that you're doing something that's not 100% legal. I know if you don't file the taxes, but it's your responsibility to actually do those things. Yeah. And if they catch you, you're gonna pay your
pay my taxes, right? Yeah. So that's what I was essentially alluding to. Like in the crypto.com app, I can download my tax report and get that data for myself, so I can give it to an accountant and say, hey, I've spent 150K on a secondhand Lambo here. Well, what tax do I pay? And then I have to sell the Lambo to pay the tax. So, but it's there and possible. So, little features like that, I think, will help a lot of users to.
In our case, even with having non-custodial wallet, it makes it easier. Okay.
Yes, that's right. Because it's all on my own wallet, and I can look through it and get reporting data off it. Okay. So what about the micro lending? So we talked about that, and you mentioned through the the DEX and everything that you're building there, the micro lending. Is there a market for this? I can understand like me putting the assets in and then lending out to people on the platform that need the money, but are there people on there that will want to borrow it? I'm assuming to pay for a subscription service. Is there a market for that?
There is. People have always difficulty with managing the cash flow, and something is and sometimes it's not just about saving money or not having money, but it's about not having money in the right moment. Because if your due date is tomorrow and your paycheck is coming 5 days later, you actually don't have funds right now, but you know that you're going to have them 5 days later. And we can actually help people with crypto to bridge that gap. And I believe that's awesome setup because, I had that problem even for my business. Forget about the Netflix, for instance, but I was running my business before, and I was running it on, I had to pay for Shopify, for Stripe, for, and the WordPress, and even the Dropbox, DocuSign, you name it. Okay. Yeah. But what would happen is I was taking pre-orders on my web page, and I would actually get money from the customer, but I had to pay to Stripe or to Shopify tomorrow because they said, if you don't pay us, we're going to take down your website. And I took the money from the customer because customer paid for my product. But sometimes it would take from 5 to 7 days to get that money on my bank account. And I was so mad on banks because there were so many money had to go, to this account, to that account, to Shopify, to Stripe, until it would come to my account. Mm-hmm. But it was my money, the company's money. And I had that money, but I couldn't use it. And sometimes I would call my friends and borrow money, to actually pay for those services to keep my business running. And that was really painful. So I found myself many times in that position, but I believe that there's so many people, having that same problem. And with those microloans, what we can actually allow them to borrow those quick loans, small amounts of money to actually cover those expenses. And then later on, if they repay their debt, they just pay a small fee for doing that. But the beauty of our setup is that, and this is something also that we're going to do, because we're going to allow them to take those microloans, but without the collateral. That's like the big different thing compared to those liquidity pools that are actually connected strictly to DeFi and crypto itself, because we have a business model running on our app, and we have features that we can actually use as a leverage to make them pay off their debt. For instance, we're not going to let everybody to lend money. Of course, we're going to see, how much he's spending monthly, how much virtual debit cards we issue that user, and then we're going to say, okay, now you're eligible to use a micro lending feature. But if you don't repay your debt, we're going to actually take out all the features that you were using. Okay, so at the end, there are going to be some of those who are not going to be pay off, and that's going to be counted into that fee that we're going to take. Okay, so we're going to do that small, let's call it credit scoring of the system. But that's the place where my co-founder, CTO Marko Ruks, the guy who worked for Intuit, is really good at. He's AI expert, and he worked for Intuit for QuickBooks, and his team beat the credit scoring, US credit scoring FICO for some small percentage with his own machine learning algorithm, which was later only used by Credit Karma, which they acquired. Intuit acquired those guys. So there is a market for that, and I don't know if you're aware. I'm going to just try to be as short as possible. There's so many now services allowing you to pay buy now, pay later. Okay, so it's really awesome and growing business model, and that's actually it. Okay, but just using the crypto DeFi setups to do that, it's amazing. And also on the other hand, it's going to be really awesome opportunity for people who have funds to actually put funds in those liquidity pool to earn some awesome yield, monthly yield, and that's going to allow others to use their funds to bridge those gaps when they need.
Yeah, so, it's interesting that you mentioned those quick loan things like Afterpay here in Australia during COVID went from small little company to absolute behemoth that got bought out by Square, I think it was. I can't remember, for some ridiculous amount of money. So it's definitely a huge market, growing market, and the legal regulations around those microloans are very vague. It's actually easy to do, and it's very profitable for companies. Yeah,
but with crypto, it's even easier to do. Okay, because you're not taking all the financial system and the regulations and things like that.
Very cool. All right. I'm looking forward to finding out more about that and seeing that implemented on the platform. Now, I've just got a few more questions here to go through, and then we can wrap things up. So I was watching a video a little bit earlier with Josipa, and she was at the World Blockchain Summit last year in Dubai talking about our fund. So it's like a funding thing that you're doing for the crypto ecosystem. How's that going? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So why our fund? So the idea came up from our own experience, because once when we said, we gonna go, first of all, we were trying to raise money with the VCs. And then that was a long-lasting procedure and everything. And I said, there is other way, and there is a better way, which is actually help to incentivize and to help to start all this crypto economy around Revuto. I said we should do ICO. We should ask our community to help us raise money, and we're going to give them tokens for that. But to do that, to do ICO, it's not easy. It takes time. You need to find the people, and you need to pay people and pay all those services that you need to actually involve in the procedure, marketing and things. So it's hard to do an ICO. And we raised a significant amount of money, $10 million, which was really good raise. And we said, we're going to actually take part of that money and try to return it into the community to actually help those pre-ICO projects on Cardano to prepare themselves for the initial token sale. We already invested in one company. Now we're going to invest in second company, but the allocation for that fund is $1 million. We are investing up to 250 in the projects that we believe have a good chance to succeed. And we said also we're going to give opportunity for the community to also add $1 million to those that we are adding to actually help the Cardano projects grow. And it's going to help the whole ecosystem actually to grow. But at the same time, we're going to those users are going to benefit from investing in those projects through the AIR fund, because what we do, we actually invest and buy tokens from those projects under really good terms, because we are the earliest into those projects. And so it's a good fit. And that's how, well, the plan is actually to help Cardano ecosystem grow, because we need more good projects and to be recognized within the crypto community in general, because I'm sure that you're aware of all the negative and the positive things around the Cardano. So
definitely.
That's the plan, and hopefully we're gonna succeed. And that's why now we have also in our app we have Air Fund staking pool where people can actually put their ADA up to €1 million. We said, because there's the hard cap, we give them awesome yield in ADA, and also in addition portion of the Cardano native tokens from those projects that we're going to invest in. It's a good fit now.
Can you mention the names of any of these projects that have are going through the fund, the one that you're investing in at the moment?
Yeah, I don't want to, because we want to do announcements and podcasts. And we are still negotiating the terms.
Yep.
Yes, but the first project is Profila. They're using a zero knowledge proof technology. They're gonna, I believe in June, they're gonna have their ICO or IDO. So they're gonna launch on OpenFi on a launchpad, but still they offered to our investors also opportunity to invest in their tokens under really good terms. Like the price is twice as less than is gonna be the public price of the tokens. So really good discount.
All right, I'll look into that one. It sounds interesting. Anything with the zero knowledge proofs is like, right up there in terms of
it is an awesome team, amazing team. They actually reached out to us after we did the ICO. They asked for advice. We started to talk, and they were having the same issues, same problems, and we said, "Hey guys, we're gonna help you because we can, okay? And let's try to figure out how." And then the whole idea came up.
Fantastic. All right. Well, looking forward to that whole R fund grow out as well, alongside your platform as well there. So how can people get started? Where should we go? What communities should we join? Just
download the app and follow our social media channels, follow our Medium blog posts, because we are really trying to communicate with the community, with our users as much as possible. I think that we are the most transparent thing about team or project, about anything. We really push out so much content out, and we communicate. It's a lot of information to digest, but still, if you start following everything.
All right. It sounds really interesting. I'll be watching very closely, and I already have the app downloaded, and anyone else can download the app as well. I'll put all the links to it in the show notes and the video description down there, so everyone can find out a little bit more about Revuto. Vex, thank you so much for joining me and explaining and telling me all these really cool stories as well. It's been brilliant, getting to know you a little bit better and understanding the platform. Really hope you guys got something out of it, and if you did, please give me that thumbs up. I know it really helps with the YouTube algorithms, and really helps with other people discovering the video as well. Now, I don't hold too much of the Revuto token. Unfortunately, I managed to get some through the ViFi platform for staking my ViFi tokens on there, and managed to earn a little bit from it. So that's what actually sparked my memory, and I thought I had to check this this platform out again to see what they're actually doing. Now, if you want to find out more about it, I put links to everything that I could find down below about the platform, what they're trying to achieve, all their social medias, and also their Discord server as well, so you can engage with the community, learn more about the platform before getting into it and using it themselves. If they manage to get anywhere near to the point where crypto.com are at the moment, or Kronos as their token is known as, I will be absolutely amazed, because if I jumped in on Monaco or crypto.com back then as much as I am looking forward to Revuto right now, I think I'll be holding one of those platinum crypto.com cards at the moment. Instead, I've just got my little ruby red one, but that's fine. That's all I need. It works really well and I absolutely love it. I use it on a daily basis. So this is an exciting development in the crypto space for Cardano, and I'm really looking forward to the future with this. So like I said, if you really enjoyed this content, please consider giving me that thumbs up, click subscribe, click the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next video.
Yeah, gotta do it like that. You've been listening to the Learn Cardano podcast. Gotta get it hype. Crypto is what we like, but this is not investment or financial advice. Gotta do your research, cause it's risky. We know it is. This show is educational and it's informative. Crypto's the future, really, it ain't no debate.